So now Professor Emeritus of Global Health and Humanitarian Affairs at the University of Manchester, and he was also the UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator for Sudan. He joins us now from Geneva. So Volker Perthes says that he's seen credible reports about the existence of at least 13 mass graves in Sudan. Your reaction to this, Mukesh?
Well, I think the evidence of these mass graves is pretty compelling, and fuller investigations are needed. But obviously, they're very unlikely because access is not going to be made possible. It's a repeat of the situation I faced 20 years ago when I was doing the job that he was doing now before he resigned.
And what do you make of his resignation with the UN out of Sudan? What will be the significance of this and also the consequences?
Well, first to say that the life of a UN special envoy is not a happy one. And if you look around the world, most such envoy ships end in tears because the envoys have an impossible job. On one hand, they have to speak up for international norms, for UN standards. And on the other hand, they're supposed to make pragmatic compromises to bring about some solutions to the impossible crisis that they face. My predecessor and my successor were all fired away, and I had to leave as well. So this is a part of a long tradition, and especially in Sudan. Now, I think in this particular case, I'm afraid anyone in this position would probably be in exactly the same state where he finds himself in. And the question has to be whether the UN should continue appointing envoys to impossible situations where they're ritually humiliated, not listened to, and bring the whole international system into disrepute.
That is an important question there, and as you say, of huge significance for the UN. Where does that leave the value of the UN in such missions then?
Well, the UN is a moral force. It is there to point out what wrong things are happening and the various international laws and rights that are being abused. It is there also to provide advice and to open up channels to find solutions. But that's virtually impossible with the current state of the Security Council, geopolitics, and regional politics. So I think the job of an envoy is basically to be the sacrificial lamb in these processes. So I think it was an honorable decision made by him to go, because Brahimi did the same thing when he was special envoy for the UN in Syria all those years ago, when exactly the similar things were going on.
And Mukesh, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has left Sudan. He's been visiting many regional countries and leaders. What does that change on the ground?
Well, I think the fact that he's emboldened to go out, to travel about, even as the conflict waxes around the country, indicates that he must feel pretty militarily confident. And obviously, he's in control of Khartoum, and Khartoum is the capital. So undoubtedly, he's in a stronger position than the RSF. What that means is that he is looking for military partnerships and diplomatic support to see if he can find a security solution to the crisis. It's an open question whether that is going to be achieved. On past record, even if there is some military stability with the Sudanese armed forces in control for the moment, it's inherently an unstable situation, and we'll have to wait and see. I just hope that the countries that he's visiting in the region are behaving in a sensible manner and not working cross purposes. They're certainly the key to finding the solution there, more than the United Nations, more than Security Council. It is the neighboring countries that are and the regional countries that are really the key to stability in Sudan.
Important point there. Thank you so much for raising that. Well, Mukesh Kapila, former UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator for Sudan, thank you so much for your time and analysis today.